Hey everyone, this is the Corvids Coffee podcast, episode 5, the Mother's Day special. And today I'll be interviewing all the mothers in my family at our Mother's Day get-together. So we'll hear what they have to say about motherhood and go from there. Enjoy! Alright, so let's start with a few questions. Thanks you for being on my podcast. This is Emily, and she is a mother of 2 beautiful children, and she's part of my family. So it's the best, and we just had a lot of food. Oh my god, there's so much. But I was gonna say, take some dessert left over. It's so good, or just like a little bit. That's okay. I was gonna say we all did that. We all did that this weekend. All right, so let's start with the first question. All right, so did you always expect to have a family when you were growing up? Like, did you always imagine yourself having children when you? No.
When I met John, I was like, I don't want kids.
Wait, really? That's so crazy because it's like you seem like obviously your mother, but I was gonna say you seem like such a natural mother. That's like I always thought you wanted like children, like just like looking at you. I was gonna say with all that.
I know. It's funny. I really didn't. I told him when I met him, I was like, I don't want kids. And here I am.
Oh,
kids, maybe one more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you have 2 beautiful children already, and they're so cute. But I was gonna say, is there anything like when you became pregnant, like did you think like kind of how motherhood would be before your children were born versus like after they were born, like how different it was?
I definitely see the difference now, but I truly didn't think about it and prepare for it. But I don't think anyone can prepare themselves for it, honestly.
You just have to experience it.
Winging it.
Oh,
and then we eventually get the hang of it.
Very nice. Oh, Philo came in for a little. Ooh, is that? Oh, we got some Mung hard. I know that's good stuff. All right, let's see. Hi, we got Milo here. You want to say hi? Oh, he's jumping away. He's jumping away. All right, so we're going to record on here because my mic's died. It's halfway through. So what surprised you in your first year of motherhood?
Definitely the exhaustion. I had no idea that I would be this tired all the time.
Yeah.
But somehow you muddle the strength to like persevere, whether it's through an espresso shot or through just trucking through the mud. Yeah.
Just 5 espresso shots at this point.
Yeah, exactly. So we're doing the damn thing.
Very nice. I'm trying to think for the other question. Let's see. Hey, how's it going?
We're doing a podcast interview. Hi!
Let's see.
Did you go to the bathroom?
No.
So would you say that when you were starting after you had your first child, would you say that like you felt like a little bit more prepared for motherhood like before expecting Amelia?
Yeah. So I feel like Milo taught me how to be a mother because like you can read as many books as you want, but like all kids are different. And, like
it's the experience.
Yeah, it's the experience. Just like learning to do anything. I feel like you eventually get the hang of it, and now it's like a breeze. I used to be afraid a little bit to like go to the grocery store with Milo because I felt so overwhelmed by like getting groceries and having a baby and like.
And it's like, what if he gets distracted and like just all those like worries.
Diaper, like, but now I'm like I go with 2 kids like in and out, like it's a breeze. So I definitely picked up picked it up.
Yeah, you picked it up.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's all through the learning experience.
Yeah,
so that's always good. So
yeah,
but you're an amazing mother. So but take time for yourself too. I was gonna say self-care is definitely the most important.
Yeah, I gotta remember that.
Oh yes. Well, I'll take you out for self-care day, so we'll do that.
We'll have fun together.
Yeah, and thank you for being on my podcast.
Of course, I'm so excited. I can't wait.
All right, so first question is, and this is my Aunt Heather, so I'm recording, so say hi. Hi. So I want to ask, did you always know that you wanted to be a mother?
Always.
Like when you just always knew from the get-go, like ever since like.
Yes, I was looking forward to having my own children, always.
And after you had them, you just like, did you kind of like expect the challenges of motherhood, or like did you just kind of learn as you go, like?
You learn as you go, and challenges I think are always part of it.
I think you're a great mother, and you're a great aunt too. So that's like another mother anyway. So
yes,
so it's like it. Oh, and how was your Mother's Day?
Perfect.
Good. I was gonna say we had so much dessert, but I think it was worth it.
Everything was so good. And it's just seeing everyone so like that huge table full of people and food. It was so nice.
And how does it feel to be a grandmother now?
It's amazing.
Amazing children, the 2 little cuties.
I know. is so fun.
Oh my god, I know there's so many
Very
babies
sweet.
now, it's crazy. Like, got everybody, but
I know the family is so big, but it's getting bigger, which is just, it's fun to see.
it's a legacy going
It
ahead,
is a
you know.
legacy.
So
Nana's like the OG of the.
I know, I was gonna say she started it all. Isn't it crazy?
Yep.
Yeah. But I hope it just keeps getting bigger from here on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What's your favorite thing about being a mother? Would you say?
Watching my kids just become who they are and part of society, and then have their kids of their own and do the same. It's just it's
What? I'm not sure.
Dad might have it.
Oh, might be over there. Oh, yep, there you go. All right, he's good. He's good. All right. Well, thank you again for joining me.
Oh, of course.
And I'm glad to have you. And glad to see you for Mother's Day.
Thank you so much. I love you too.
And you look amazing. All right.
You
So,
want to use the background?
no, I can usually do noise cancellation, and I can edit this out, so that's fine. All right. So let's start with some questions. Let's see. I'm trying to think what to ask. Oh, did you always know that you wanted to be a mother, like since you were younger?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I always knew that I want to be a mother.
Did you expect to
I
have as
don't
many
know.
kids as
No,
you did?
I don't think so.
Oh, my
I don't think that I was planning for that many, but
I know because you've had
Because-
how many would you? Okay,
Yeah,
actually
because-
tell the podcast because how many you
because
had in total.
I
'cause
have
that's a
4
lot.
girls,
Yeah.
and back then all the older people in the family thought that I had to have a boy so can carry the name of the father.
Yeah.
Which, if it was today, nobody would care. But in any case, so that was the story. So I had 4 girls, and I had to have the 5th one. Thank God it was a boy, because 5
youngest-
kids more than enough.
Oh my God! I was gonna say you had your hands full. I don't know how you did it, but you've done an amazing job at being a mother and a grandmother.
Well, if you
Our
ask
grandmother.
me, I don't remember how I did it because we're so busy working and taking care of the kids.
Oh my God! So you just work and then have the kid and
Yeah,
then work
yeah.
more.
Well, it
Oh my
was just
God.
so much work to do and take care of them and do the homework with them every day and cooking and all of that. So
But it was all worth
it was
it in the end.
busy. It was busy.
Busy household, but it was all worth it though in the end. And
Yeah,
now you have,
yeah,
now you
yeah.
have even more. Well, now you have now you have now you have more grandkids, and then hopefully great grandkids. So
Yeah,
it's just
no.
it keeps going from there.
Yeah, the grandkids, the great grandkids. I mean, it can be happier than that, and they're all such good kids, everyone. So I'm so proud of all of them. So it's a big.
Here, I can pause. All right, so here's another one. What was something you liked about the way you were raised that you wanted to do for your children? Like when you compare it to how your parents raised you.
Well, usually, whatever you learn at your home is what you apply when you get married. That's usually the way it goes. So in my house, growing up, it was a very well organized household. My mother was a very, very kind person, generous person, and very caring. So we all kind of inherited that. Caring, hugging, telling the people that we love them constantly. And I think that I raised my kids kind of in the same way.
And then your daughter raised me in the same way, would you say?
I guess that goes from one generation to the next.
It's passed on.
A little modified and corrected maybe because the times are changing a little bit. Keep in mind that when I had my kids, there was no cell phones. You
No.
have to trust in whatever they tell you that they were going because there was no way to check on them. So it was a different times, but more challenging times back then because there was not the communication that we have today. But on the other hand, they were not exposed to so many things that kids are exposed to today. So, I guess it goes from one generation to the next. The system that you used to raise your kids. So
I'm glad
whatever
you
you
passed
do,
that on. I mean, you've given me such an amazing mom, so I'm grateful for
Well,
that. And you're an amazing grandmother, so
I'm so proud of what my kids have become, and never mind my grandkids. My grandkids are the best of all the generations that are coming here.
Oh my God.
All of them are just so so good, and they had accomplished so many things that amaze me every day that I think about it. Right? They really do.
Well, you amaze us every day, Nana, so I hope you know how grateful we are to have you in our
I
lives.
do know. I feel that. I feel the caring. I feel all the things that you people do for me all the time, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. As you become an older person, I think that you tend to appreciate things a lot more.
The small things
You
and
know,
everything.
it's too bad that we get older too fast and we get wiser too slow, I should say. But, we become a little bit wiser as we age, and then we appreciate a lot more things that we didn't appreciate when we were young.
But I think you enjoy it more in the moment now because you take that time to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like today, with everybody around.
Yeah,
It's
I do. It was a great day today, having everybody around and everybody so happy and everybody sharing and all of that. It was a wonderful time. I'm really grateful for that. Very grateful for that. We have been very blessed. We have received so much in this family that...
And it just keeps growing.
Yeah, it keeps going. I know. We need to think and giving back some of that. We should give back any way we want, any way we can, I should say. Helping anybody, you never know the next door to you at work or the neighbor, somebody, We should always go the extra mile to help somebody because, as my mother used to say...
Well, you help a lot of people. I would say your whole neighborhood and all the people's lives you've
Why
touched.
not,
Love
if you can? My mother
You're
used
very
to say,
gracious
if you can go the extra mile, just go and do it because it's nothing better than give. If you want to receive, you better give.
It's a good rule to live by, And it's a wonderful thing to be gracious and be a kind person. Thank you, Nana.
Life can be so beautiful with all the things that we go through because life sometimes is not easy and sometimes we feel that it's not fair. But it's beautiful. All in all, with all the things that we live through, still life is beautiful. It's beautiful. We should live it to the fullest every single day.
And cherish the people we love every day.
That's another thing too. And appreciate everybody as they are. Not trying to change anybody.
No. Thank you, Nana. I really appreciate it. And I love you.
More than welcome, Elizabeth. I love
And did you enjoy
too.
your Mother's
I'm
Day?
so proud of you. Oh, yes, I had a wonderful time.
I'm glad you did. And now we can start your garden soon. Now you have, I was going to say, she has a plant here from my Aunt Ronnie.
You're not going to see me working in that garden.
No.
It's somebody else's project in my house, but somebody else.
I'll tell you what, we'll get a team rallied up to help, and we'll do a gardening day.
Oh,
and actually, since it's nice out, we'll get there.
Yeah,
don't worry. Don't worry.
Doing all the weeding and all of that.
We'll get it for you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
you can be on standby with lemonade.
Yeah, well, I'll enjoy seeing that because Papi was always so fond of having a garden at the house. So this will be a nice project to have.
I think he'll be really happy with it.
Yeah.
Looking down and seeing that.
Happy.
Yeah. And seeing he's like, oh, the weeds aren't there anymore.
Yeah. That's right.
That's right. That one is getting
Thank you, Nana. So here with me is my mom, the mother of the hour, the best mom in the world. Say hi, Mom.
Hi.
So I'm interviewing you. I'm going to ask you some questions. And, if there's anything you don't want to talk about, that's okay, too.
Sure, cutie. Everything's open.
So how big of a surprise was it? Oh, sorry, Ollie. He's just being dramatic.
You might want to cut that out.
Yeah, I'm going to cut that part out. So when me and Tori were born 3 months early, how did you handle that, first of all? Because I know that was a really big surprise and being premature and, you had to have a C-section. It was a crazy time.
It was a crazy time. But I have to go back to prior to that, they put me on bed rest. And, of course, as a young mom with almost 5-year-old, I didn't think much of it. I figured, you're invincible. You're, healthy. You're just pregnant. Mm-hmm. And so they gave me time off of work. So what better time than to catch up with what I needed to do at home? Mm-hmm. Get the nursery ready, make everything perfect before you guys were to come and arrive. So I was busy painting, putting together cribs, going out shopping. A lot on my feet.
You should have taken some time to rest.
It didn't.
Because you're still that same way today, where you always go above and beyond, and you need to take more time for yourself. I feel like you always are doing. You're always giving like 200% towards everything, which I do admire. But you do deserve a break.
Right, but I didn't think at that time of break. I think when you're young, you don't think
You're
about
like, oh, just
breaking.
kind of keep going, you know.
Yeah, you think everything, is okay. You can do it. So that's what I did. And so I got together all the nursery, and at that time I started having contractions. And then I didn't realize that those contractions really were signs of me having to slow down. So when we went to the doctors, they said, now we're going to have to hospitalize you.
Oh, jeez.
And I said, yikes. So I ended up being in the Brigham and Women for about a week. And during that time, they gave me a medication that helps develop the lungs of unborn babies. Because
I didn't even know they had that.
24 weeks at that point. And, we were, thinking, well, no, hold on. You were more than 24 weeks.
25 weeks?
Nope, because you were born at 29. And I lasted a little over a week. So I'm going to say you were probably 28 weeks old, or maybe a little bit before then. And they decided, okay, because I think I lasted 8 days at the in the hospital on bed rest before I gave birth. And then the day I decided, I guess my body decided
to pop us out early.
to pop you guys out early, it was because Tori had already broken her water. And it was a couple of days with that broken water. And I guess the sac replenishes water so that the baby can still stay viable. But they kept getting ultrasounds every day. And then I knew that morning of May, 17th, that you guys were coming, because I started having back labor really bad. So I tried to call Daddy, but he wasn't picking up. It was too early in the morning. So I called Tina, and Tina said, your aunt went to wake him up. And me of little faith thought, he won't get here on time, and I need somebody here. So I called your Auntie Ronnie, and she was working across the street at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, and she had just finished an overnight shift. So she picked up right away, and she said, I'll be right there.
What can I say? You're both good in the medical field.
So she came on with her scrubs, and she came as they were wheeling me out of the room into emergency C-section. Jesus. And when she came, they thought she was a nurse from the Brigham. And they
well, she was in the scrubs, so they're like, oh, you must be on our staff then.
So they asked her to start an IV, and she said, no, I'm not. I don't work here. And so...
Did they still invite her to insert the IV?
So they said to her, no, you don't have to do that, but you can come on in. And so she did. So she was sitting there next to me, which was comforting to me. And they were prepping me for an emergency C-section. And then your daddy walks in, and he was dressed in his scrubs. And so, because you have to change.
Oh, yeah, with the shoe covers, the hair covers, everything.
So then they were both sitting there. And then I would only look at them as I was getting my epidural. And then in my spinal, so that I could have you guys taken out. And I remember both of them turning really pale white. And they were mesmerized, I guess, of what they were seeing.
Oh my God!
See, they put a curtain in front of your face,
so you couldn't see it, but were they on the other end?
Right, they were pretty much on the other side. So,
wow,
facing me, but still on the other side, and so they could see what was behind the curtain.
You think Aunt Ronnie'd be used to that, though, considering she sees?
Well, she's not maternity; she's only ICU.
True.
So
that was a first then.
I know.
Oh my God.
So then, anyway, so they're pale, and I'm like,
at least you weren't seeing it. But yeah, they shouldn't have been worrying you about that, though. They'd be like,
right?
Were you scared of one? Like,
I was scared only when I would see them.
Oh my God! Wow, they should have done a better job of having a poker face.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling.
I would have just not looked. I would just not looked at them.
And then Tori came out, and they brought her up to me, and I thought, oh my gosh, she's so tiny, almost translucent. And then you were having a hard time coming out. And I remember feeling a lot of pressure at that time. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, she's not coming out. And they were saying, oh, she just doesn't want to come out. And then I wanted to say it was 5 minutes later, but they clocked it as 2 minutes later. But you came out, but I felt very nauseous at that time. So they upped the anesthesia a little bit of the epidural, and then I felt nauseous. So I ended up throwing up a little bit. But then you came out, and you poor thing, you must have had a rough time coming out because one of your eyes, it was your right eye, was very bruised. Very bruised.
Oh, geez.
Because they must have gotten you stuck
Did a
in
nurse
there.
punch me on the way out? Like, get out of there.
You were
Get out
very
of
bruised
there.
about getting out of there. So
Yeah, I just really
anyway.
wanted to stay in for another 3 months.
But you both cried when you came out, so,
that was a good sign.
That
That
means
we were
the lungs
thriving
were
and alive.
right.
And the medication worked.
Yeah, you were 2 pounds 14 ounces. Your sister was 2 pounds 7 ounces.
So I was a bigger baby.
You were the bigger baby. You still wanted to stay in there. You knew that you
I know.
needed
I was
more
like, it wasn't time. And Tori was like, I'm impatient, so let's do this
There
now.
you go.
She's still kind of like
She is, isn't she?
Yeah.
I know. So then you both came out, and I think I wasn't able to see you quite yet because I had to deliver the placentas. So then after that, you were whisked away, and then I got to see you later that day. They wheeled the whole bed right into the NICU, and I was able to see you both.
Oh, like in the viewing window?
No, in the actual
Like the
area.
incubator. Like we were in the incubator. I think you
Yeah.
showed me. I'll have to get pictures of those to put on the in the
Yes.
description because
Oh,
you
definitely.
have one of me. Because we stayed. How long did we both stay in the hospital? Me and Tori stayed in the hospital for after because we had to stay for. Tori had Kawasaki.
Well,
That was
Tori,
later.
It was later.
That was later. Okay, but we were both
Right.
underdeveloped, and I think was it 2 months?
You were
like that.
born prematurely 3 months before time.
But no, I mean for staying in the hospital after for.
Yeah, so Tori stayed there till July 4th,
Gotcha.
and then you came home later on the 14th.
So I got 10 extra days over.
That's
Tori.
right. They wanted to send you home early, but it ended up that you had this apnea. And apnea is just sort of you go into a deep sleep and then you forget to breathe. So that's the apneic part of it. So you would have to be on a monitor, and then if we heard the alarm, then we, kind of jostle you so that you can actually start taking breaths again. So they
That explains
asked
my
me-
asthma issue, I guess, nowadays.
Maybe, but I don't think it is that. I think what ended up happening is you just were kind of lazy.
I was
in
like,
the
I don't want to
breathing.
breathe. I don't want to do this.
You were underdeveloped. Your lungs were probably needing more time. That's all. So they asked me if I wanted to take you home early with a machine that would alert me. And I said, I just thought, what
It'd
if
be
I don't
terrifying.
wake up?
Well, yeah, it'd be
and,
terrifying to be like, what if I don't get
So
there
I
in
said,
time?
no, we want her to be free of the apnea before we take her home. So we ended up waiting, and the 14th, you were able to have a few days where you were not apneic with, any interruptions in the breathing. So then you were fine. So we took you home then, and that was the end of that. Yeah. But I think it was very challenging times, especially for your sister Veronica, who had to come with me.
Yeah.
Twice a day we would go, and I would want to, have as much to do with your care as I possibly could and bond with you both. At the beginning, it was tough because you couldn't bond with premature babies.
We were in the incubators.
They were in incubators. Yeah, you both were in incubators, but they don't like too much touching because they want to simulate more of what's in the birth. So they would tell me to put pressure on the bottoms of your feet and on the top of your head and cause a little pressure.
Almost like we're back in the womb.
Exactly. And then to talk to you. And so that's all I would do.
Oh, there's Ling Ling.
So I would talk to you and put pressure on both your head and your feet, and that was all I could do to keep you guys more, I guess as normal as can be and as happy as can be during that time.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. It was totally worth it.
Thank you for bringing me into this world.
Oh my God, it's my biggest joy.
Now you're going to make me cry. Wait, tell me about Veronica's birth.
Oh, Veronica's birth was
Easy compared to our...
completely easy.
Alright, so we're going over Veronica's birth story, so I need to talk about that.
Sure. Well, Veronica's was very typical. They told me that my due date was November 25th. And I had not given or even remotely prepared to give birth at that time. We had gone to Lamaze classes, you and my dad and your dad, and we were prepared, but nothing was happening. So then when we went for my doctor's appointment on the day that I was due, I went into the office and my water burst.
Yeah, would you look at that? She decided right then and there. And hey, good timing.
Prompt. Yeah.
Good timing.
She was very prompt. So anyway, so there she is, kind of trying to come out already on her due date. So it was probably around 11 o'clock or something that we went to the doctor's office. So I told your dad, we got to go home, get her my bag, and then go to the hospital. And they told us to clock how quick the contractions were
like
coming.
timing them in between.
And they weren't. Not even, they were a few minutes apart. So by the time I get home, of course, I want to shave my legs. I want to pack my bag.
All the important stuff.
All the important things, right? So I did all that. By the time we headed out the door, I felt like my contractions had started coming a little closer.
Like less than a minute.
Right. They were painful, but I didn't know what to expect.
But you didn't feel when you're shaving your leg.
No, I didn't.
It was
I was too excited.
You're like, oh my God, I'm going to have a baby.
So we head over to Brigham and Women's, and we get in there, and then they put a monitor around your belly to see how the baby's doing, and then how the contractions are coming, and then all of a sudden the contractions just kept on being a few minutes apart. So then I swear the doctor that had us, which wasn't my regular OBGYN, came in and he said, they're too far apart still, but since you broke your water, let's give you some Pitocin and try to increase these contractions.
Well, what is Pitocin helps increase?
So Pitocin helps increase the quality of the contractions. So it really makes them nice and big so that you
that
really
doesn't sound
takes
very
your
good
breath
for you,
away.
though.
No.
Jeez. I've been like, see, if my regular OBGYN was here, she wouldn't do what you're doing.
Right.
Just saying. She's better.
Dr. Hernandez was mine, so she wasn't available that night. So
she's probably like, I'm so sorry you had to deal with him.
So I think he had like a dinner engagement he wanted to get to.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, yes. So he increased my Pitocin rather quickly, and I said,
I would have shoved this guy out of the room and asked for a different doctor.
Probably.
And I've been like, who's like better than Dr. Hernandez, or at least second best? Send her in.
So he left the room, gave you the Pitocin, got out of the room, and
Patient
then Veronica was ready, presenting, meaning ready to come out. And I wasn't fully dilated. So
you couldn't push it.
To start pushing.
Gotcha.
But I told the nurse, and I know that first-time mothers usually, you think you know what's going on with your body, but the nurse says, nah, you don't know. But I said to her, I really feel like the baby's going to come out. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, it could feel like that, but I don't think it is like that. So, but let me check you.
Yeah.
So when she went to check me down there, she said, she was so surprised.
She was like, you're right. She was like, I'm so sorry, you're right.
She said,
oh my God.
Let me go get the doctor.
She's like, I think he went to his dinner engagement. Well, let me just pull him back really quick. He's
So
probably
she
like,
went-
oh my God.
She went to go get him, and when they came back, I said I needed to push. I think I pushed 3 times, and the baby came out.
You only had to push 3 times?
That was
Wait,
it.
so how long
Veronica was ready to come out.
So how long between from when you started the contraction to when you finally gave birth? How long was it?
Born at 8, I think at 8:12 or something like that. So, and we had gone there around, maybe we showed up there around 12:45, almost closer to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we really had to wait a little while before they saw me. They wanted to see how I was progressing. Then they put me on the Pitocin, and then when they did do the Pitocin, because I told you he had a dinner engagement.
Oh my God.
Then everything started coming too. And then I was like, oh my gosh. So then I had Veronica really. So yeah, she was in the evening, just like you girls. And she came, and she was, she weighed 7 pounds even. And so she wasn't a big baby, but she
was a normal sized baby.
Normal sized baby, exactly. So yeah, so hers was on time. no big deal. Vaginal delivery, you guys were,
The horrible
a
C-section,
an
yeah.
emergency
The
C-section.
emergency, yeah, 3 months early emergency C-section.
Exactly. So yeah, 29 weeks. A baby needs 40 weeks to be ready. But yes, to see you guys now, you would never know.
Yeah.
Right? You would never know. No.
You're so tall now.
You're so
Yeah.
tall. You're thriving. Yes. So.
What did it feel like when you finally saw Veronica, like your firstborn child in your arms? Like, what were you? You must have been feeling a lot of emotions. I would have shoved that guy out of the room at the end and be like, we don't need you anymore. Bye.
I didn't care about him after we had Veronica.
He went to his late dinner.
I was so excited. I was so relieved because the pain goes away. So you're relieved. And then they put the baby next to you.
The skin to skin for
you sort of bond together. And the baby stops crying because they can feel your heartbeat again. And so
it's kind of like they're synced up to you.
They are. Yeah. They sync right away again. And so they know they're safe. And then
like kind of being back in the womb again because you're kind of that attachment.
Yeah.
Right?
And then they take her away to clean her up.
And then she starts crying again.
Do a couple of little things because they have to give them a little, a little injection and a little erythromycin and the eyes and check their weight, check their reflexes and all that. And then they let daddy hold. And then after that, it's rather quickly because a vaginal delivery can't stay in the hospital more than 24 hours.
Wait, really? Why only 20? Why only?
They figure that you're better off going home instead of staying in the hospital.
What if you need like stitches or something?
Well, sometimes what they call an episiotomy is when the woman tears down there while they're giving birth. And I did have an episiotomy done. So what they do in episiotomy, they cut you so that it opens up for the head to come out.
Oh my God.
But then they stitch you back up and you can get to go home. That's no big deal.
But I feel like they should keep you though, like, overnight at least to let you recover a little bit.
So they did. They kept me overnight and then the next day by 11 o'clock we're out of there. Yeah, 11 o'clock usually.
Like a hotel, like, hey, you're getting kicked out, 11 a.m. checkout time.
It's all about insurances, so yeah. And so then, anyway, so they kick us out at 11 o'clock, which we were very happy to go because it was Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, yeah, because she's right. She's a Thanksgiving
She was born
baby.
the day before Thanksgiving that year. So anyway, so we get to go home. And I remember we went home. We had Veronica in between us at the bed because we wanted to rest a little bit before we head out to Nana's. Nana was having Thanksgiving. And we thought we should go because, we were fine. And so we went home and she was in like a little, not a car seat, but like a little carrier. And we put her in between us and we all slept for about 4 hours.
Oh my God.
No, less than 4 hours because she needed to feed. So probably maybe 2 hours. It felt like 4 hours to me probably, but
because you're like, oh my God, mostly 2 hours.
And then she cried a little bit, so I nursed her, and then she went back to sleep for a little bit, and we slept another probably 2 hours, and then we got ready to go over to Nana's, and we went and had Thanksgiving. I couldn't believe I was getting out of the house.
And you got to bring in your new addition to the family.
Yes, you see how fast that all goes, yeah.
That's crazy how fast that goes.
Oh, yeah. And Sarge at the time was our dog, a big, huge boxer. And he was all happy that she was there. And then we all went, even him, to Papi and Nana's house for Thanksgiving, yeah.
Did you watch Veronica?
Oh, my God, yes. Like a hawk. He thought he was,
He's the guard dog.
The protector, yes.
Protector. His baby sister.
Oh, yeah. A 90-pound, almost 90-pound boxer, yeah. Yeah. But he was such a
sweetheart.
Sweet thing. Yeah.
Would you ever get another Sarge?
I always liked larger dogs than smaller dogs because they don't get underfoot. But Ollie's a small dog,
Ollie.
but we love him too. Yeah. So I'm sort of like, would I get another big dog? I love big dogs, but there's nothing like the small dog cuddling up to you, Yeah.
And he's like your little boy.
He is.
He sleeps in the bed with you guys.
He's the fourth child.
He is the fourth child. He's the one that gets to stay at home. He's right now wrapped up like a little cinnamon roll in his bed. All comfortable.
Absolutely. You got to be with him for a good amount of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Would you ever do anything differently if you could?
Anything differently? Yes. What I would do is probably stay in bed rest. When they tell you bed rest,
Yes,
they mean
I was
bed
gonna
rest.
say. Well, I've had a friend who had like I think she had a C-section. Never mind. But I think somebody else told me that they had to have an episiotomy, and they said that the recovery was especially hard. I think for how they tore, but that, and I've heard the C-section can be a lot. So you must have had to recover for a while after me and Tori, because they're taking out all your organs to.
And then they put them all back,
like operation.
Sort of like that.
So I feel bad that you had to do that for us, but I wish Tori didn't break the water early. Otherwise, we probably would have been normal size.
When you guys came along, I was able to stay in the hospital for 5 days.
Should have been longer.
It should have been.
It should have been like 2 weeks.
I cried when I had to leave you guys behind because I wasn't going home with you guys. So it was.
But you had to rest. Terrible. You had to get your rest too, because you can't really move a lot when you're after a C-section.
True. Yeah. So I went home, and then the very next day I went back in there, and I saw you, and I, was there trying to take care of you with the nurse. The nurses were fabulous. This one nurse, Ellen, that was fabulous, and she taught me how to hold you, how to help give you nasogastric feedings, where you had a little tube down your nose into your stomach, and then I would pour the breast milk into it so that I could feed you 2 ounces. That's all you could take for the whole day. It was very little amounts that I could give you at the time. And then how to give you a little bath, so how to do little things to clean you up. And you guys were so tiny. Yeah. And you had so many lines hanging on you.
It looked like E.T. in that medicine scene, in that hospital, in that scene when they had a government.
Get you pictures, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Gotta post those ones on there.
Yes, you guys are a miracle. And of course, as an older mom now.
Who still looks very young, by the way.
You're so nice. But
it's the good genes.
Now you knew better, and you knew how many things could go wrong at that time, because now I'm 5 years older. And I feel like that was the biggest thing, because you worried about everything. You knew there were things that could go wrong. You knew things that could happen that could take a life of such a little infant that didn't have too much resources to fight all the things, During the time at the Brigham and Women's NICU, there was this one woman who I got friendly with, because, we both went there on a daily basis, and she had had chicken pox during her pregnancy.
Oh, my God.
So her poor little newborn had to be on an isolated room, and she was fighting for her life, and she was born around the time you guys were born, 29 weeks. God. And though very viable, but because of the chicken pox, the baby ended up passing away.
Oh my God.
And it was the saddest thing, because as a mother, you know what you're losing. And to me, it felt so real of the things that can happen to a newborn baby that's born prematurely. And so I worried a lot, and I think that during that time, I thought Tori was born where her lungs weren't fully developed, in the sense of when they were developed, but
they're still underdeveloped.
Well, so when you're born as an infant, as soon as you're born, you take your first breath, right?
Yeah.
And at the time when you take your first breath, what ends up happening in the lungs is that like
like the passageway for that.
The passageway closes, where the lungs can now start working to bring oxygen in, right? So that oxygen exchange is there for the blood. But with Tori, it didn't. So what ended up happening, she had to be intubated right away, and she needed to be on an oscillator so that that fluid that was building inside the lungs would not cause her to stop the breathing and all that. So she had to be she would either need an open heart surgery or she would need some medication to sort of close that opening between the lungs, so that the lungs could now start bringing oxygen in. So that was one of the biggest trials I think we had. I thought for sure we'd lose her, so I had her baptized, and I had you baptized at the hospital as well, which is not traditional for us Catholics. We like to go to the church and have you guys baptized in church with the nice long gowns and
not in the hospital.
Not in the hospital.
All the
but it needed to be done as an emergency case. So
they squirting on us with a needle.
So anyways, but Tori ended up making it fine. She didn't need open heart surgery. That medication worked. It closed that valve and it was fine. So she ended up getting extubated, which she didn't need any more tubes down her throat
or in her nose.
So then she started thriving right away. So then you guys were both okay. She even got out of the hospital before you. So
yeah, she always gets out. She always gets out on time early. And then there's me. Where I wasn't quite as lucky. I took 10 extra days.
That's right. So that was fine. I didn't care because I thought as long as they're going to be healthy, I'll wait all I need to wait to get you home fine. So yes. Yeah, but like I say, as an older parent, you know that birth is a miracle, and you're just thankful for having, healthy children, and so I was fine with it at the end of it all.
I'm glad you're fine.
Yeah.
You've made a wonderful mom. So thank you, Mom.
You're so sweet. You're so sweet.
It
makes it easy when I have such wonderful girls,
Well, you've also given me 2 best friends, so.
That's right. That's
They're
right.
still my best friends. I mean, they do the podcast with me.
Yes, they do. I'm so blessed to have such wonderful girls in my life.
Very blessed to have you, Mom.
Oh,
I'm crying. And I think you're crying. Oh my God.
It's a sensitive matter when it's talking about life. Yeah. What can you expect,
Oh, man. Thank you, Mom, for joining me today.
Oh, you're so welcome, sweetie.
And I hope you all enjoyed this Mother's Day episode. As emotional as it got towards the end, I hope you guys all enjoy it and like and follow the podcast. So thank you. Have a good one, and have a great week ahead. Hey everyone, it's Liz here. I just wanted to wrap up the episode with our mental health tip for the day, which is to express gratitude to your loved ones. So kind of like today with Mother's Day, if you're spending it with, your mom or a mother figure or anybody that's close to you like that, who means so much to you in life, you should practice gratitude towards that person and thank them for all that they've done to make you happy in life, everything they do to show you that they love you and care about you, and just tell them that you appreciate them and that the gratefulness you feel for having them in your life and each day you get to spend with them, because life can be short and you should spend in the here and now and enjoy every moment you have with them, because you never know when you could when you might not get those kind of moments together. And that's important for me too with all family. So practice gratitude and take every moment to tell those people in your life how important they are to you and what it means to you. But I hope everyone has a wonderful week ahead, and I hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day. See you guys soon. Stay tuned.